still have him. He's still here, so I'm just going to leave him for a little bit, okay? Who called him Robbie? He's just asking me to call him Robbie, so I'm just leaving it. Because they'll always give me their proper name, and I feel like that's not the only thing people called him. And it's just what I'm attaching to in the moment. Do you understand it? Okay, good. Because Robert could be Rob, Bob, Robbie, could be anything. Could be a nickname that he gives. Alright, so we're going to see who we're moving to next. Whew. But they have me sitting here, so I'm going to start going back and forth between people. Who recognizes the name Joseph as well? Joseph, it's very clear to me. Older generation. Alright, I'm going to leave that. Remember, try to remember grandparents and aunts and uncles that were talked about, because that could be the first person pulling your energy through. Okay? They said to me, remind them that it's going to click, meaning you would recognize. Okay? Thank you, honey. Okay. Were you hoping for your mom today? Mm-hmm. Because she just said she can't wait to talk to me. Do you understand it? Were you hoping for her too, honey? Okay. Was she your main person on your mind today? Mm-hmm. So earlier I was sitting at the bar and I was eating salad. And they were a couple seats over from the right to me. And they kept making me stare her down. I kept getting, Megan, Megan, I want to talk to her, Megan. Do you understand? It was her already trying to get my attention to give me your name. Okay, so that's what it's about. Cancer, she's saying to me, progressive and fast towards the end. Okay, meaning towards the end, meaning it took her fast, and it speeded up as it went along. Okay, so I'm going to ask her to slowly start to step in. Sometimes they'll tell me where the cancer started. Sometimes they might even say what type of cancer it was. They'll make me feel if it's localized. They'll make me feel it's spread through the system. But she's saying to me, it took me quicker than I thought it would in the end. Meaning in the end. Meaning it got faster in the end. Do you understand it? Okay, so my guide's saying to me in the beginning it was a slow progression. Then it got faster in the end, meaning she thought she would have more time with everyone. Do you understand it? Okay, good. You still have some of her stuff? Okay. She makes me feel like I want to get dressed in jewelry. Do you have her jewelry? Perfect, good. So if she shows me a picture of it and talks about a specific item, wonderful. I just feel like I'm getting dressed in jewelry. She's saying to me that tonight you just needed to know that she was at peace, because you feel like, she's saying to me she hasn't been gone very long, number one. Okay? So I will get that, because recent's under 3 years. That's how I know she hasn't been gone past 20 years, because that would be longevity, meaning it's 20 years and under. So I will wait until she tells me, okay? Are you in school, sweet pea? She's showing me a book over your head, and she keeps talking about further education. Do you understand it? Okay. What's with the college? She kept saying, she's going to college, she's going to college, she's going to college. And she's showing me the book over your head, and I can see the pages opening and closing. And she keeps saying to me, further education. Do you understand it? And you're happy with the path that you're in, but you're not fully done your degree? Good, because she's saying to me, she feels that's where she's supposed to be, or at least in that field. Do you understand it? Okay. And she's saying to me that you're on the right path that you're supposed to be on for now. She makes me feel like it's going to change in a few years, but that has to do with your free will, meaning you're probably going to switch, okay? So I'm just going to leave it for a minute. And she's saying Megan. Good. Okay. All right, I'm going to, like I said, we're going to start with the effects of the cancer. Yeah, she's wiping me out. She just said to me, it spread further than I thought it would. Do you understand it? That's why not spread through the system. Because I can have someone that has cancer that steps in, and it might be like some form of brain cancer, and it might just stay here, and then they might pass, and it might not spread through the body. She's saying to me it spread further than she thought, and she's doing this. That's why I know it started to spread through the system. She's making me feel like I'm really weak and frail. and she's wiping all my energy out. There's so much I want to talk to them. There's so much I have to say. I know I only have a short time with them, so I wanted to give guidance for her. That's why I was picking up on your name earlier. Okay? Do you understand what she's saying to me? Tell my daughter she did everything she could for me. Okay. Did you worry about something not being enough? Because they'll say that just because they're trying to give you more comfort as to they passed the way that they were supposed to, as far as the progression leading up to, especially with something as advanced as cancer, or sometimes it can be questions in your mind wondering if there's something else you could have done. But she's saying to me, it got so advanced, there was nothing else to do. Do you understand it? Good. She keeps doing this. When they do this and they start to put the pain right here, it's their way of making me feel the hardship of the loss for you. Do you understand it? You were very close? Okay, because she makes me feel like I want to hug you. My daughter knows what I went through. My family was there for me, and I need them to know that I appreciate that. But there's some ways that they wish they could have been there more. Do you understand it? Do you understand it, honey? Okay. Do you feel like you should have been there a little bit more? I'm just asking. Because when she says a general statement, it doesn't always mean that it goes to the person I'm reading. It can go to other people as well that might wish that they had a stronger connection with her before the passing happened. Okay? So sometimes what will happen is somebody feels like they didn't fully, do you understand, as long as you understand it, okay? Because it can mean about wishing he saw her more before she passed, wishing that he had a different type of goodbye with her. There's a lot of different things that can mean because she's being very vague in her statement. And sometimes they'll make me feel if it's a hospice bed or if it's a hospital bed or if they're in a facility, I'll know who's there around them as far as family when they pass. Sometimes I'll even see who greeted them in spirit when they went, and then I'll actually feel the soul exit and feel those first couple words. All she's saying to me is he feels like there's things that he could have done better and things he left unsaid. Tell him I don't want him to feel guilty about this. So it's her way of acknowledging what's going on in your life, trying to give you the guidance and saying that you're on the path that you're supposed to be on for now. Okay? And then she says, there's a separate message for you, but she doesn't want him to continue to hold the guilt. She's saying to me there's part of him that's still holding it. Do you understand it? Okay, good. Alright, I'm asking her what else she wants to make me feel. Every time I reattach to her, I feel the sickness, and she completely wipes me out with the cancer. So I have to take my time with her just a little bit. And it's just because I'm feeling how hard this was for her in the end. She said it got to the point where she asked God to take her. Did you know that? Okay, because that's what she's saying to me. It got to the point where I prayed for Heavenly Father just to take me. I didn't want to put my family through the pain and suffering anymore. I didn't want to go through it myself. I knew before I passed it was time for me to go, but I also feel like I wasn't fully there in that moment. That's how I know she's already doing the in and out between the pains, and I feel the fuzziness, which sometimes that's medication, or it's the process of the body shutting down. Do you understand it? Okay, because she's making me feel like I'm going in and out like this, and all she keeps saying to me is, I know how much they love me. I need my daughter to know how much I love her, and I need her to know that my soul was at peace when I passed. Okay? And sometimes they'll make me feel if you're there with them or not. She's not making me feel that. It's just her acknowledgement that when the soul was released, she felt peaceful in the moment. Okay? So whether you're with her or not, she's not giving me the picture. Sometimes they do. She's just making me feel the soul release. And she keeps saying to me, I walked into the white light. The very first person I saw was my mom. And then I saw Jesus just off her shoulder, meaning standing to the side, and then she was greeted by the rest of the family. That's what she's saying to me. So she's giving the greeting. But she's saying to me, 3 people came for me, 3 people were there, and the first person I saw was my mom, meaning her mom was passed before her. Okay? So she's just giving the validation as to who greeted her. What are you going to do in honor of her because she's doing this? And that's how I know you're thinking about doing something in her honor, or it's something you just recently did. I'm going to leave it because she's just leaving it as a blank statement. If it's a tattoo, if it's buying a piece of jewelry, or if it's something you just did as far as any kind of planting, or if there's a certain angel thing that you did as far as any kind of hanging or anything like that, they'll show me the validation. She's making a blank statement. I think you're going to recognize it after you leave, because it could be a thought that was just in your mind in the passing that you're just not thinking of now. Perfect. Do you understand it? Good. Because what will happen is, if the tattoo is already put on the body, they'll make me feel like I want to touch my arm. When she's saying thought process and then they start listing stuff, that's how I know it's either one of those, or that they're trying to validate there's something you were thinking about doing along that line. Do you understand? Because all she was doing was this, meaning I know that you've been thinking about something to do in her honor. Do you understand it? Perfect. She's, I see her aura, and there's like all this really pretty like light pink at her feet, and I can see roses, and then it goes into like a rosy pink color, then it goes up into purple, then there's just a little bit of yellow here, and then there's blue and white all here. So I'm seeing her aura color from the other side. She's so gracious and so loving, meaning she's gracious for this opportunity to talk to you, and I feel nothing but love from her from the other side. She's so sweet. I'm asking her what else she wants to say. Was the main validation for you today just knowing that she was at peace? Because that's what she just said to me. They just wanted to know that I was in heaven and that I was at peace. Do you understand it? Did you question coming here? Okay, I'm asking. Because she keeps saying to me, my daughter had that question, and that can mean you had a question for her, you questioned coming here, or you just wanted to know and get the validation that she's at peace because you felt she was and that she was with God, but you wanted to hear her say it. Do you understand it? Perfect. Wonderful. All right, she makes me focus back on you, meaning there's a couple more things she wants to say to you. You have a couple pieces of her jewelry, honey? You have a couple pieces of her jewelry? And who has the ring? Because she's making me touch my ring. Perfect, good. When they make me touch my ring, it's just her way validating. Before, she was making me feel like I was getting undressed with the jewelry, and now she's just making me touch my ring. So I'm going to leave it for just a moment. Alright, the very first words I got were, tell my granddaughter, so I'm going to leave it for just a moment. I'm not even touching the surface with her. I feel like I've only gotten 3% of what she could actually even tell me, and she's just taking her time, and that's okay. For some reason, just her energy is a little weaker than everybody else's, but I think it's just the order that she came in, because she kind of stepped in earlier than she was supposed to. Alright, so my granddaughter. Okay, tell me what you want to say, honey. Tell her I know that she's thinking about honoring me. That's why I had to make you feel that. Let her know that I love her. Tell her I will always be watching over her shoulder. I wanted them to know that I was with God and at peace. It was important for me to get your attention so I could have a chance to talk to the two of them. Tell my granddaughter that I want her to have nothing but joy. I want her to continue to stay on the path that she's on. Let her know that I will always be there to do my best to see what's going on. I'm closing my eyes only because if I start looking at her, I'll start to see other pictures. And they're saying to me she has just a few seconds to talk and she wants to pass this message more than other validation. Okay? So that's why I have my eyes closed, because otherwise I'll be going into other items that she has of hers or anything else she wants to give for strong validation. Because they're saying to me there's other stuff she wanted to validate that she's not going to have a chance to, but today has to be the message about the guidance for you. You felt a special connection with her? Okay, because she just said to me, I always felt a special connection with her. I need her to know how proud I am of her. And I want her to know that she has a bright future and that I will always be there. Alright, she's stepping back for just a minute. I'm being told I'm going to get just a few more words or sentences out of her. That was strong, because I could start to feel the sickness in my stomach again from the cancer. I just have to take my time with her because I am taking on her cancer so strongly to where I feel like I want to get sick. That's how strong I'm feeling it, and sometimes that'll happen, okay? So that's why I've had to kind of see how fast I read everyone else. I had to slow down the way I was reading because I'm taking on her cancer so strong, and I'm feeling it so much. Because she's making me feel like she's completely wiped out. I start to feel dizzy. I start to feel really lethargic. She makes me feel really weak, and then I start to feel sick to my stomach, okay? Just some of the effects that she went through because of what happened with the cancer. But sometimes what will happen is I will connect so strongly and feel so much of what they went through where I have to actually slow down my connection with them, because if I allowed myself to attach any stronger to her, I would have to stop my connection with her because of how strong I'm feeling it. So that's why I had to slow it down and take my time with her, because she's saying to me there's other things that, like I said, there's 2 other validations she's not going to be able to give because she just wanted to go to the message, because we can't allow you to attach to her any further because she's going to make you sick. Okay? And not that she feels that way now, because she's completely at peace and she is in wonderful health being with God, but I always make the connection to how they were before the passing happened. She just said, I know that they miss me, and tell them I miss them too. Can you pray for your mom, honey? Because she's showing me praying hands. Good. And what's with the Catholic? Okay, because she's showing me the praying hands, and I can see the rosary, and I feel the rosary wrapped around. So sometimes it's their way of validating your religion, sometimes it's a way of her validating hers, or both. Do you understand it? And she keeps saying to me, I know that she prays for me, I see the praying hands, and then I can feel the rosary. Do you understand? Okay. And she's making me feel she was very grounded in her faith. Do you understand it? Wonderful. Yeah, she showed me the open Bible with the rosary. It's just her way of saying, I always had God in my heart. I asked Jesus to come for me. I didn't want to say goodbye to my family, but I didn't want to suffer any longer than I felt I had to. I actually passed sooner than I ever thought. That's why she was making me feel that fast progression when I first came to you, meaning she thought she was going to be here longer. Remember, when they say that, it's about their perception, okay? All right, she's starting to pour energy out. All she keeps saying to me is, I hope I can have more time to spend with them. I just wanted to let them know that I'm at peace and that I love them.